Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
All right, hope you're all doing fantastic. So on your screen right now, you will see the latest heavyweight world rankings by BoxRec. And two names that you will see missing, Tyson Fury, WBC Ring Magazine and Lineal, if anybody puts any stock into Lineal. He's the heavyweight champion, and Deontay Wilder. Both of these fellas are missing from BoxRec. Reason being, inactivity. So why is that important? Well, it's important for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's a case of managers, promoters, fighters use BoxRec for records, to see who's who, to see who's active, all that kind of thing. Okay, BoxRec's very, very important to the circulation of boxing, the population of it. But it's also very important because BoxRec, they remove fighters who are inactive. One of these fellas, as in Tyson Fury, is a WBC heavyweight world champion. You can't hold a belt and be inactive. You can't. It shows that these two are holding up the heavyweight division and they're getting away with it. The WBC are giving them a pass on it. The Ring Magazine are giving them a pass on it. Now, for sure, you could say, but there was a pandemic going on. They couldn't fight. Granted, you're absolutely correct. But other fighters have been fighting. Other fighters have been active. Anthony Joshua, he fought Kubrat Pulev. Dillian Whyte, he fought twice in this period. Alexander Usyk, he fought Derek Chisora. Joseph Parker, he also fought Derek Chisora. Michael Hunter, recently he fought that Mike Perez. Andy Ruiz Jr. recently fought Chris Arreola. Derek Chisora, of course, I said he fought Usyk and Joseph Parker. Pulev fought Joshua. Gassiev, I don't know who he fought, to be honest. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Joe Joyce, of course, he fought twice as well. Darren Dubois and Carlos Takam. Luis Ortiz, even he's had a fight. Okay, sure, he took on a bin man in Alexander Flores, but hey, what can you do? Even Ajit Kabir, one of the most inactive fighters in the heavyweight division, even he's had a fight. Okay, so it tells you that they are holding up the heavyweight division. That's what it points to. And when one of them is a heavyweight champion, WBC version, of course, that's a problem. That's an issue. Now, would it be an issue if they have a fight on October the 9th? No. These guys will then be inserted as soon as they have their fight. Okay? But it's important that if they don't fight, if something happens October the 9th and this fight does not go ahead, that's not good. You can't have a world title and hold up the heavyweight division. It's a major belt, the WBC belt. You can't hold it and not defend it. There's no reason in the world why Fury and Wilder could not have fought already. They could have fought and should have fought back in November or December. They could have done it, but Tyson Fury, he said that Team Wilder kept turning down fight dates, yada, yada, yada. He moved on, the contract expired. Of course, I did a couple of interviews with Bob Arum during that period, and he said, yeah, Tyson Fury, he can walk away, which is why Fury's now going to be looking at Anthony Joshua, all that kind of stuff. Now, it turned out that Bob Arum was wrong. Turned out Tyson Fury was wrong. Or maybe the whole thing is one big con job. Both Wilder and Fury are in on the whole thing because they wanted crowds back. They refused to fight without crowds. A lot of these fighters have been fighting without crowds. They want crowds. Why? Because they want to generate money. That's not my problem. That's not your problem. That's not the other fighters' problem who want a shot at the WBC belt, i.e. Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte is the WBC interim world heavyweight champion. So if something was to happen and Fury, for example, current WBC champion, doesn't fight, well, Dillian's interim status means he then gets elevated to full WBC champion. So therefore, he should step in. So when Tyson Fury pulled out of the July 24th fight, in theory, it should have been Dillian Whyte stepped in. But the WBC, they gave Tyson Fury more time, which isn't usually the way that they do things. I mean, we've seen the WBC take full belts of people for far less reasons. So Dillian Whyte, he should have already been fighting Deontay Wilder. And Tyson Fury will be champion in recess. So when he's fit and able, he will then take on the winner of Dillian Whyte, Deontay Wilder, as an example. That's what should be happening, but it's not happening. And the BoxRec, by showing that Fury and Wilder's not there, shows you exactly what the state of play is in the heavyweight division. That these guys are just not active. They're not fighting. Everybody else has been fighting. Fury walked away. He shouldn't have walked away. The arbitrator ruled in favour of Deontay Wilder. That tells you he should not have walked away. He shouldn't have done. Wilder was correct, which is why he won. I know Bob Arum and Tyson Fury and whoever else want to blame Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn was talking about the Joshua fight, which then forced the arbitrator to rule in the favour of Wilder. Absolute nonsense. Why would a professional former judge do something like that? I mean, that's borderline corrupt, isn't it? That's making a decision based on feelings rather than what should be. But he is a professional and we have to take his judgment as a professional judgment. He ruled in favour of Wilder. Fury should not have walked away in the first place. He shouldn't have done. And in that moment, because of that one, arguably he should have been stripped. Now, the July 24th date, that didn't happen. Why didn't it happen? Because apparently Tyson Fury contracted C-19. I don't personally believe that one. I don't think many of you do either. Some of the hardcore Fury fanatics probably don't believe that one either. Because the timescales, the timelines don't add up. They don't. And the reason that they don't add up is because of the self-quarantining period was only about 3 or 4 days. But in Las Vegas, is that the rules? I don't know, because everywhere else in the world, it's a minimum of 10 days self-isolation. His other people from his own training camp were walking around in Las Vegas, going to UFC events and all that kind of thing. This is why people can't believe that Fury genuinely had it. Even his own dad questioned it. Even his own dad, John Fury, said that Tyson and his team, i.e. Bob Arum and co., were in on a screw job over Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. They were using Anthony Joshua. They never had any intention of fighting. And this is Tyson Fury's own dad who said that. John Fury's own dad also said Dillian Whyte should be fighting for the WBC world title. He shouldn't have to do any kind of eliminators. He shouldn't have to be waiting around. The lad's earned it. This is John Fury saying this. And a lot of people will agree. But either way, the point of this video is it shows the inactivity. Everybody else has been fighting. There's no reason why they couldn't. Why? Because you couldn't get a crowd? Oh, boo-hoo. Nor could many people. So you take a little bit of a reduction in price. So does that mean the heavyweight division has to be held up because you want a crowd so you can earn more money? Because they both know, or the teams know at least, people are not going to be buying this pay-per-view in its droves because people are not that interested in it. We've seen that fight twice already. No reason to see a third one. They're holding up the heavyweight division. And that's what BoxRec is pointing out right here. For me, if October 9th does not happen for any reason, I don't care what the reason is, a nuclear missile could drop. No reason, okay? Oh, might be extreme. But the WBC belt should be taken off Tyson Fury, given to Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte will then fight Deontay Wilder, if Wilder still wants to crack at that title. But who knows? Maybe Wilder, his only motivation is getting revenge on Fury. So maybe he would rather just fight Fury with or without the belt. It's not that important. Who knows? But then Tyson Fury will then become champion in recess. For me, hopefully the WBC look at that and realise that what they're doing here is giving these guys a pass for a third fight. Shouldn't be happening. These guys should not have arranged a rematch clause. Should not have been done so. Especially reason being, Tyson Fury replaced Dillian Whyte as the mandatory. So therefore, if there's a mandatory, there shouldn't be a rematch clause. There shouldn't. But at the same time, Joshua, of course, he has rematch clauses with his mandatories. But that's not really how it should be, and that's the truth of it, isn't it? Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, catch you on the next video.